Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn new chapter. That is chapter 20, the Earth. Unit 5, Universe, the Earth and Weather. Look at the model of the Earth given here carefully and answer the questions. So here, children, look at the model of the Earth. In the screen you can see. So here two questions are there. First, carefully look at the picture and answer. Question number 1. How many parts of the earth are covered with water? How many parts of the earth are covered with water? So here the earth is divided into 4 parts. In these 4 parts, how many parts are covered with water? So water indicates blue color. So here you can see 3 out of 4 parts are blue in color. So these 3 out of 4 parts are the correct answer. So how many parts of the earth are covered with water? 3 out of 4 parts. The next question, how many parts of the earth are land? Options, 3 out of 4 parts, 1 out of 4 parts. See here, only one part you can see the land. See, some people are walking, vehicles, houses, or buildings are there, isn't it? So only that one part. So 1 out of 4 parts are the earth, are land. Okay. The next, we live on the earth. It is our home. The earth is also a planet. Its shape is round like a ball. The earth goes around the sun and gets heat and light from it. So children, we live on the earth. So earth is our home. But it is also a planet. So children, do you know how many planets are there? There are 8 planets. So what are they? They are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So these are the 8 planets. So Earth is also a planet. And we say Earth is like a ball or spherical in shape or round in shape. The earth goes around the sun and gets heat and light from it. So earth goes around the sun and receives heat and light from sun. So the next, our earth. The earth is made up of land and water. It is 3 parts water and 1 part land. The earth has a blanket of air all around it called the atmosphere. So we already said that earth is made up of land and water. So 3 parts of the earth is covered with water, or 71% of earth is covered with water. And the earth has a blanket of air all around it, and that is known as atmosphere. A small model of earth is known as a globe. So a small model of the earth is known as a globe. Children, do you know what is a globe? It is a model of the earth. There are many different natural features found on the earth's surface, such as plains, mountains, hills, rivers, seas, deserts, etc. Let us learn about them. So there are different landforms. So the earth is not completely plain or mountains. Different. So we can see when we look around or when we go by train or buses or anyway, we can see the model of the earth, isn't it? It is not in the same way everywhere. So the landforms are different from one place to another place. Some places we can see it is very plain, but in some places we can see some hills or mountains, and in some places it will be plateaus. So the earth is the model of the globe is the model of the earth. Let us see. Okay, see children. Here when you see, what color you can see more? Yes, it is blue. I already told you, blue shows water. So 3/4 of the earth is covered with water, or 71% of earth is covered with water. So we can call earth as a blue planet also, because it looks like blue, isn't it? It looks like blue. So this children, this is a globe. So it is the model of the earth. Now let us learn more about different landforms. So first one is plains. Plains are flat lands. Most of the famous cities of India are in the plains. Plains are usually hot in summers and cold in winters. Name one city you know that is in the plains. So plains are flat lands. There's no ups and downs. It will be very straight. So here there are many cities are there in the plain places. And also it will be very hot during summer. When we stay in plain places, it will be very hot during summer and it will be very cool or cold during winter season. So some examples for cities in the plain places like Delhi, Punjab, Bihar, Assam, all north places. So children, see, if you want to know what is a plain, now you can see on the screen. So this is the example of plain. See, very leveled place, isn't it? There is no ups and downs. So it is known as a plain. The next, mountains and hills. An area of land that is higher than the area around it is called a hill. It usually has very good weather all year round. High hills are called mountains. It is usually very cold in the mountains. The tip of a mountain is called its peak. The peaks of very high mountains are usually covered with snow. Have you ever seen a V-shaped lowland between hills or mountains? This is what we call a valley. There are thick forests in the valleys. So an area of land that is higher than the area around it is called a hill. So hill, have you seen hill children? It be so high. So here has very good weather all year round. So the whole year the weather will be very good. And high hills are called mountains. So very high hills. Hills also very high, and than that is known as mountains. It is usually very cold in the mountains. So when we go to mountain side, you can, it will be very cool all the time. And the tip, the end of a mountain is called its peak. The end side of the or tip of a mountain is known as peak. The peaks of very high mountains are usually covered with snow. So I told you it will be very cool and the peak will be covered with snow. See, have you ever seen a V-shaped lowland? See, between hills and mountains, you can see just like V-shaped. So that is known as a valley. There are thick forests in the valleys. So now you can see, children, what is a mountain or hills or valleys. So see, mountains. This will be very high, isn't it? So it is not like plain. So before I showed you what's the plain. It is very plain, very flat. Let's see here the difference. It is very high. See, this is a valley. See, in between that like V shape, isn't it? Between one hills and mountains, there will be little place. That is a valley. See, hills. It is not like very high like mountain, but just see the hills. See, this is a plateau. See, sometimes a high land is a flat at the top and looks like a tabletop. This forms a plateau, which is also known as a tableland. See, plateau also, it is not very high like mountains or hills, and also it is not like plain, just little top. Than plain, it will be little top. So it is known as a tableland. See, plain means down. Is it very flat areas? But it is little top. So it is also known as a tableland. Okay, is it clear? Okay, you can study about this more in higher classes. The next one is deserts. Deserts are large areas of land that are very dry and are covered with sand. There is very little water in the deserts. Only plants such as cactus grow here. Animals that can stay without water for many days, such as the camel, are found in deserts. Name one city you know that is in the desert. So here, deserts are large areas of land with completely with sand, full of sand. Very few places we can find water here and there. And there usually we can see a plant known as cactus. And animals also like camel you can find. So camels no need water daily. And name the city you know that is in the desert. See, one famous beautiful city is there, Jaisalmer. So this Jaisalmer is a beautiful city in the state of Rajasthan. Isn't it? So here we can see full of sand. Okay, now you see this is a desert. See how is it? Can you find any plants there? Okay, there are some plants like cactus, plants which need or which no need water at all. See, we can't see any houses or anything. Only some camels. See, camels can withstand the desert regions. See the desert completely covered with the sand. Then next, rivers and lakes. Water is present on the earth in many forms. Water which is not salty is known as fresh water. Rainwater is the cleanest form of fresh water. So, water is present on the earth in many forms, like fresh water or salty water. So here, fresh water we use for drinking and other purposes. And among fresh water, rainwater is the very fresh water. We can use fresh water for drinking and cooking purposes because it is not salty. So salty water we can't use for anything. So we use fresh water. Many rivers like the Ganga and Yamuna are formed when the snow melts on the high mountains. Some rivers like the Narmada and the Godavari are formed from rainwater. When water falls from a great height, it forms a waterfall. River water is not salty. We can use it for cooking and drinking after boiling it. Rivers flow and meet seas and then flow into the oceans. When water collects in a large area of land, it forms a lake. So many rivers, we know many rivers, and some examples are given here like Ganga River, Yamuna River. All these rivers are formed when the snow melts on the high mountains. See, from high mountains, we already learned the mountain peaks are covered with the snow. So that the snow will melt, then it will come like water. So that water is formed like river. So we get this water. And some rivers like Narmada and Godavari, they are formed this water from rainwater. They won't get snow water. And when water falls from a great height, it forms a waterfall. So here, waterfalls means this water will flow from height. And river water is not salty. So mostly sea water will be salty. River water is not salty. We can use it for cooking and drinking after boiling it. So river water also we can use for cooking or in drinking or any purpose after boiling it. Rivers flow and meet seas and then flow into the ocean. So first the small rivers, they will join with the seas and from there they will flow to oceans. When water collects in a large area of land, it forms a lake. So lake water, it won't flow. So it forms like a lake. Now you can see the river water or waterfall, see, river water. See, the water is flowing from one side to another side. It is not very broad. It's narrow, isn't it? It's not very broad, but it is very narrow. So this is river. So here you can see a lake. So here water is stagnated. It is not flowing. So this is a lake. So here you can see waterfall. See, water is flowing from a height. So the water is flowing from a height and coming down. See, that is a waterfall. Have you seen, children, anywhere this waterfall? Then next, seas and oceans. A sea is a large body of water. Sea water is salty and cannot be used for cooking and drinking purposes. So, sea, it's a very vast and wide. We can't see from one side to the other end. Sea water is salty and also it is very salty. We can't use for any purpose. An ocean is the largest water body. Just like seas, even ocean water is salty. So ocean is the very largest. So here also water is very salty. We can't use for any purpose. Our health. Okay, see children. Now you can see. See, it is very vast and wide. We can't see one end to other end, isn't it? See. So beautiful, isn't it? See, blue in color. See, ocean. This is also very vast and wide. See. All this water is salty water. See, we can't use any purpose. See. Very huge, isn't it? Our earth is a very beautiful place. It gives us food, water, air, and even sunlight to live. We share our earth with plants and animals. We should keep our earth clean and green. So earth is a very beautiful place, isn't it? When you look around, you can see very beauty. And from earth, we get all things. Whatever things we need, we get from the earth. Our food, water, air, and even sunlight also we get. We share our earth with plants and animals. Not only human beings, not only we people, even plants and animals also living here on earth. So we should keep our earth clean and green. So it is our duty to keep the earth clean and green. We can do so in many ways. So what is the we should not throw any waste materials in the water. Or we should not make any pollution in the water. Should be clean. And next, we should not cut down trees and plants, but plant more of them to keep the earth green. So next one is that we should not cut any trees. So instead of that, we can plant trees. So small saplings we can plant. Actually, yearly once when you celebrate your birthday, that day you plant one sapling. Every year you plant one. That's enough. That much you can do. Okay, children. So try to do. Plant at least one sapling every year. We should not waste water. See, another important thing is that we should not waste water. Mostly we can see all people, especially children, they will open the tap and they forget to close the tap. Or simply they wash their hands nearly 5 to 10 minutes and waste of water. Is it? So when you wash your hands, take water in the mug and wash it. Because water is very important, very valuable. Is it? Water plays very important role in our lives. Everything we need. For everything we need water. For drinking, for cooking, washing, for cleaning, isn't it? So right from the morning itself, when we brush our teeth, we need water, is it? So for everything, we need water. So don't waste water. We should not throw waste here and there. It should always be carefully thrown in bins. So children, next important thing is that don't throw waste here and there. So everybody's house, we have dustbins. So when whatever waste is there, put it in the dustbin. Don't throw here and there. The next, we should not spoil our environment. So whatever may be the reason, don't spoil our environment. So we have to take care. It is our responsibility to take care our environment. So we should not throw waste, or we should not pollute the water, or we should not cut the plants. So in that way we can take care of the environment. So when our earth is clean and green, we also will be healthy. So one activity is there in your scrapbook. Draw and show how you can care for your earth. Okay, children, that you can do. So all these things, remember children, don't pollute the air or water or the earth. See, earth is, we are living on the earth, isn't it? Earth is very important. If earth is polluted, then we are also polluted. That means we get different diseases. So earth is giving us everything. Whatever we need are given by the earth. So it is our duty to take care of the earth. So read this lesson, children. Three times you read. Okay, children. Okay, today this much enough. Okay, bye. Thank you.